So right now, what Happle had showed you all was how to get the playbook course, which is one of the most important parts out of all this. Step-by-step guide. What we're going to go over today, tomorrow, and the next day is the strategy, is some click by click. So if you want to put your tablet or your other computer or multiple screens set up and kind of follow along, we typically recommend that. And then you'll be able to go back on the replays and watch this step by step, transcribe it, whatever works for you. But the Google Ads workshop is a new feature within the high level ads manager. So you have social ads, now you have Google Ads. I want to make sure that everyone is clear here that results may vary. So, obviously working and using paid advertisement, it's important to understand that past performance is not a guarantee of future performance, and high level does not guarantee that you'll experience financial gain or generate revenue. Results will vary. So, make sure that you're understanding what you need to do to turn this on, and that your card will be charged when you run the ads, and that Meta and Google Ads managers have their rules and regulations. So you need to follow their terms of service, or your ad will be taken down or never published, or you'll have to pay the cost associated with it. And again, just to share here as we're totally live, that myself here, I'm going to be guiding you along with Haplin on how do we make this something that works for you, with you, and your customers. So it's native and high level. It's easy for you to click. So throughout the journey here, make sure to comment in the comments below. I'll do my best here as a co-host to get your questions answered along with Jordan. And the good news here is that you're not alone, right? So go ahead and type in the comments. Excited, if you're excited to learn this and be part of this journey with us. And obviously we have Haplin here, our subject matter expert with our product marketing team, who's put the playbook together, who's worked with our development team behind the scenes to make sure that this is going to work to benefit you and to be useful to your customers. And as mentioned before, we want to know where you're tuning in from, because that's a big part of us networking. As you're commenting below and you're seeing people's replies and you're replying, you're opening up the door to commenting, to networking, to meeting other like-minded people. But I do want to mention that High Level will never ask you for access to your account, your password. High Level will never ask you to buy something in your messenger. So please be aware that we're not going to do business with you in your DMs. If someone has a question or you have a question, just know that they're not representing High Level particularly. So with that being said, I'm happy we got all that nice bumpers aligned here. So we got everything we need. Would you take us on the Google Ads workshop journey?
Thought you'd never ask, JB. Let's go for it. So I'm going to dive straight into this. And then I've only got a few slides, and then I'm just going to share my screen and actually click some buttons for you and show you what Google Ads looks like in high level. So rather than just do a presentation, we're going to get our hands dirty. And I encourage you to have another tab open, and you're welcome to click some buttons alongside me if you like, and or just watch for now and then go watch the playbook and then click buttons alongside that. These playbooks are implementational. These workshops are implementational too. So whether it's the replay or whatever, I highly encourage you to click some buttons alongside me. That's what I am all about. So diving straight into this, who is this workshop for? Anyone involved or looking to get involved in a small business that wants to run Google Ads and get measurable results. You don't have to be an ads expert. I'm not an ads expert, but I am fully confident in this and can't wait to show it with you. So quickly, today we're just going to go over setup and launch. Tomorrow is going to be lead generation and nurturing those leads. And then day 3 is going to be tracking and reporting. And we're just going to be scraping the surface of each one of these topics. The playbooks go a little further in depth, but today was going to be setup and launch. So basically today I'm showing you how to run a Google ad, which is crazy. So let's get into it. First step is we need to activate Ads Manager. So inside of High Level, Ads Manager is something that you still turn on. It is not on by default, and it is an add-on. So let's just get some of this out of the way as a disclaimer. When you head to Agency View and reselling, you have 3 different options. You can either pay for Ad Manager $10 a month per location, $97 a month for unlimited locations, or $970 a year for unlimited locations. So the second 2 are basically the same thing. You can just pay for the whole year and you get a discount. And then Everybody who's never used the Ad Manager before gets it totally for free as a promotion associated with this workshop. So if you're in this workshop and you have not already activated Ads Manager, doesn't matter if you're a brand new trial or if you've used High Level before. If you haven't used the Ad Manager, if you're new to Ad Manager, you get that totally for free. And after 14 days, you'll automatically be converted to the $97 a month option. But this is awesome because you can either add it directly into a client's account or you can have them pay for it as well. So when you when you activate the ads manager on the standard plan, you designate your own price so that when your client goes to turn on their ads, it's an add-on for them as well. So you can either add margin or you don't have to, or you can pay the whole thing. It's kind of up to you. But a lot of agencies turn this into a profit center for themselves. Let's get some more stuff out of the way. You can also just override all that stuff and pay the $10 a month or whatever it is and just add it directly into a sub account. This is something that we can help you on in the kickoff call as well. It's just kind of basic, like one-time activation stuff. Doesn't really actually have anything to do with running ads, just making sure that you have access to it inside of your high-level account. You go to sub account, select the sub account, go to reselling, resell ad manager, deploy ad manager directly. It's actually pretty dang easy. And then, or once you actually get into that sub account, you can just have them go add it like this. This is the page that shows up in Ad Manager. If they haven't activated Ad Manager yet, your clients can activate it for themselves. So if there's questions about that, please feel free to put them in the chat. Happy to answer those at the end, but I'm kind of trying to just blaze through this because I want to get into the meat of actually running a Google ad. Once you log in for the first time, you'll be invited to integrate your accounts. It's as simple as logging into your email, as long as that's the email that has access to the ad manager, right? And that's the same for either Google, logging in with Google, or Meta, logging in with your Facebook account to get access to the Meta Ads Manager. We're focused on Google today, but it works the same for Meta, and there's a lot of great content in the playbook about running Meta ads as well. So, step 4 is make an ad. Once you have done all those things, now you will be in the ad manager, in the interface, ready to click make an ad. So let's get into that because I want to show you how it works. First of all, really quick, just to gloss over that activation piece. In a sub account or in agency view, you can click on a sub account. You have access to this reselling area. And this is where all the different add-ons are managed. So this is good to know for a lot of different reasons. And then Ad Manager is right here. In this case, I can't change the configuration. The location is already activated. So it's grayed out for me because I already dealt with it. But for you, you would be able to deploy Ad Manager directly. If you can see this grayed out little lettering right there, you click Save. That just adds it to that account automatically.
Hapland, I
Once
do
that,
want to, if I could
yeah,
just jump in
interrupt,
here.
please,
Uh,
please.
the main thing here is, you may be on a sub account and not have your own high level account where you could see the agency. What Hapland's showing you is the agency view where, you need to have like your own high level account, not necessarily be part of another high level. So if you have questions about that where you can't see it, definitely be aware that you need access to that permission. So you'll need to either have the person that that's hosting you on their high level turn on the ads manager, but in that case you wouldn't be able to upsell it. You would only be able to use it. So if you want to get your own high level account for whatever reason, at that point you could speak with the person you're working with, so that way you're not paying for double, triple, whatever the case may be. But I just don't want to create support tickets around this because people will ask, I can't see this feature. That is why you can't see it.
Yes. And to answer Bill's question, yes, you can add it to a sub account during the free trial. Absolutely. And that's a great point, JB. This is relevant to agencies. If you have a high level agency account, just meaning you signed up for high level directly, you should have an agency view. If you're a part of somebody's white label, you're a sub account under somebody else, then that's something I won't really get into because you're gonna have to talk with them about getting ads manager access, etc. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into more of the actual Google Ads part. Once you have Google Ads actually activated or turned on, the ad manager activated, you enter into a sub account, you head over to marketing, and you click on Ad Manager. This is where, if you didn't have it activated, this is where the client would be able to see this button right here. They'd be invited to add it on for however much per month. You set that price so you can charge whatever you want for it. And then after they've activated it, they'll go through the wizard to integrate their accounts, Google and or Meta. Once that is all done, then you land on a page that looks like this. This is the main interface for advertising, for ad manager stuff. So um, we're just going to go ahead and create a campaign. Let's go crazy. So I'm going to click this. Again, we have options. I'm going to do Google ad. And this is where things get really, really interesting and fun, in my opinion, because this is where the value of the ad manager is found inside of high level. Basically, the main comparison here is running ads in Google and running ads in high level. Truly, it is possible to still run ads on the Google side and you can still get leads fed into high level via the website. You don't have to uh, be running ads in high level in order to get the most out of high level, the nurturing, the reporting, and tracking the other stuff that I'm going to show you. But it's a massive benefit to run inside of high level because of how simple it is and how it puts your clients in the driver's seat. So if you want to be providing high level to your clients in a way that allows them to control what ads are on and when, they can dial up and down their ad spend, they can kind of do whatever they want. You can hold their hand as well, but it gives you the ability to just put them in the driver's seat and they can kind of do whatever they want in terms of ads because of how simple and easy it is to run with them. This is crazy. We just added templates. This is like a buzzer beater. Our first round of ad manager templates are here. It's not the most impressive or necessary thing for Google ads because Google search ads is just a little bit of copy, but we can see the first offerings of the template library here. Many, many more to come. We're working on like hundreds right now, but we just added literally our first five, like either this morning or over the weekend at some point, because these were not here when I was practicing this presentation. So I'm actually going to get started just from scratch, just because it's so dang easy and I want to show you how. So
And
in
while
high
you
level, yeah,
and real
jump
quick here,
in.
Happen, just while you do that, how many of you right now are currently running Google Ads on your own? How many are running Google Ads, or have tried to run Google Ads in the past and it didn't pan out as you planned? Let us know in the comments below because Apple's going to make this look pretty easy because the way it's been set up in the system. And I don't want you to, assume that, oh, if that's it, then this is not going to work for me, right? Because we want to make
Right.
sure that you know exactly what's important to include in your ads. So let me see in the comments here. How many of you are running Google Ads now? How many of you have ran Google Ads in the past, didn't work out as planned? And how many of you are wanting to offer this as a service to your customers? Because maybe they've gone elsewhere to get it, or they've tried it themselves and they've failed miserably.
Yep. And I'm one of those people who have run Google ads in the past, not myself, but I worked with a business that hired a consultant, got on a Zoom call with them and had them go over this is on the Google ads side, and I can talk more about this story. I've seen what it's like to set up Google ads on the ad manager side, and based on my experience, or sorry, on the Google ads platform side, actually going into Google and doing that, super big, super bloated, super complicated, and they spent most of the time skipping over features. I'm gonna be totally honest, I'm just watching like I'm asking, what does that button do? What? And they don't even know a lot of the time, especially for local small businesses. It's just Google Ads as a platform is not necessarily meant to help us, folks like us, succeed the most efficiently. So comparing that experience to me learning the ad manager platform and just learning how to run ads myself here, super, super powerful. If you're interested more in me talking about that whole story, you'll definitely want to check out the Google Ads case study in the playbook. But yeah, speaking as somebody who's seen an ad run and set up on the Google side and then been able to do it myself on the high level side, I'm kind of thinking to myself, why would you ever pay somebody to run Google Ads ever again? And so that's kind of the benefit here too of being able to provide it to your clients, because the idea is not that you're the ads manager expert now either. We're not trying to do any kind of smokescreen stuff. We're just trying to take away the barriers to entry and make it easier for you to run ads and or for your clients to just run ads for themselves. Does that sort of make sense, or do you have anything to add to that, JB?
No, there's a lot of great comments here. Well, a handful of people want to offer this as a service. There are
Awesome.
some that tried it, didn't work out, and there's a few that are actually running ads now.
Awesome.
So, I keep the feedback coming in, folks. If you have something that's worked for you, let us know in the comments because I got a few more questions I'm gonna throw at y'all. But setting this up, Haplin, I know you have this part up here up and running. How
Yep.
do we get started?
Yeah. So I'll give it a name. Let's do virtual workshop 421. There's 3 steps to setting up an ad. The first is the content. So let's go over ad content really quick. The most important thing, website URL, what's the link they're actually clicking, put in the website of your business, etc. Soon there will be different ad types. Right now we just have the responsive search ad, what you think of when you think of Google search ads, keywords, and promoted results, etc. This is developing and may get like slightly more complicated just to make sure it's fully optimized, but the goal here is to keep things really simple. So this is about to be dead simple. We have 3 headlines that are all gonna mix and match, and Google will automatically, use the best one, and that's performing the best, and it will mix and match that with 2 different descriptions. So if I'm working with fitness in San Diego, I might say gym near me. Oh, actually, sorry, this is headlines, not keywords. Ugh, what am I thinking? Headline, fitness center San Diego. And then headline 2, I might try something like, hmm, what's a good headline, JB, for fitness in San Diego?
Let's ask the audience. As you all looking
Oh,
down here
yeah.
before, I mean, we got a handful of people here that are commenting. Daniel, help us out. William, Andrew, John, Martina, Brian. As you start looking at this screen here, what would you fill in for a fitness center? Let us know in the comments before. So in the below, if you put headline 2, what would your headline 2 be? Lucas, what would your headline 3 be? Tammy, what would you do for description 1? And Ashley, what
Yeah,
about description 2, right? I want us to build this out as we're looking at this because there's power in the perspective and the experience that's on this chat right now. Great to have you join us here, Russell, Manny, Shweta, Bill. So we Haplin's building out our first campaign. Everything you're seeing here is native within the high level ads manager that we just launched a week or so back. And it's designed here to make everything simple for you and for your customers to get their first version of their ad up and running.
Okay, so I saw a great recommendation for getting your beach bod, so I translated that into get ready for summer with support and accountability. And then last headline here, uh,
And
summer
I'll say here,
shred.
and I think one of the important parts here from a strategy perspective, folks, and agree or disagree or stay in the middle if you'd like, is understanding which audience is this ad copy for, right?
Yeah.
So, if you're focusing on dads in their 40s to 55s, right, what are some things that they might be experiencing in life that they want to get back into fitness? Maybe they're single dad, time constraint, working from home, traveling a lot for work. Maybe
Mhm.
that there's a daycare. There's these different elements that you need to consider from your building ads for audience and for the persona that you want to truly get in the door from that ad. And what's really nice about this, and Haplin has showed it briefly, you can create multiple ad copies within a campaign.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is where, I mean, I'm just going over the technicals right now, and this is not a full master class on copywriting, but you just need to put your head on, put your thinking cap on, get to know your client, make sure you understand the business and the time. So, for example, I have summer shred and get ready for summer with support and accountability, very different from the ad I'm about to run around New Year's when people are making resolutions, etc. So, there's not like there's no genius to, there's no silver bullet. I'm not saying like, oh, if you put this word, it's going to magically get 1,000 more responses. It's just very straightforward. Just make sure that you understand, like JB said, the person the business is trying to target, their overall marketing position in the marketplace, and just try to connect to the person who was searching around the internet, who's basically raising their hand, saying that they're interested in something similar to what your client is offering. So there's not any silver bullet here. It's just a matter of some basic critical thinking skills and just putting your thinking cap on and doing something that makes sense. So we're not going to get too deep into the copy. You can have up to 3 ads, but for each ad, you'll have 3 headlines, 2 descriptions, and then we will get into keywords. Based on what you've put in here and based on your website, there will be suggested positive keywords. So if I actually put in something different, I think it will generate.
And while you're doing that, a couple things I want you all to type in the chat here for me. What's really important is understanding your goals for the campaign. Throw that in the chat. Understanding your goals for the campaign. Is this for membership signups? Are we looking to increase class bookings? Are we looking to increase free trials or guest passes? So as we get into that mindset, that's important. The right audience, like Haplin is putting down here, geo-targeting that area. Is it within 15 miles of the zip code or the city of the area? Are you looking to focus on mobile, right? So these are all important parts for the audience. And that's where those intent signals and those keywords play in, like gyms near me, personal trainers in San Diego, best fitness classes in San Diego. And that's how you start to get a good starting campaign, and then you could optimize it.
Yep, exactly. And so I'm having a hard time. I think I have the wrong URL. Based on the URL, the system will actually crawl that URL and start suggesting you positive keywords with AI. So that's a really nice boon. It's not showing up for me because I don't have the URL here, but we can just start adding keywords. This is what the actual search terms are. These are broad search matches, meaning we don't have to be totally exact. It's the most forgiving. That's what comes out of the box right now. This is another area that may get just a little bit more complicated as we continue to develop this ad manager. But for now, it's just what kind of keywords do we want to show up for people searching? I just put gym near me, fitness near me. We can add up to 80 here. And so we might go personal trainer, San Diego fitness. Obviously, the geography is very important. You understand that. So don't put San Diego if you're not in San Diego, but etc. Let's go with maybe boot camp. And we're going to be able to dial this in further. This isn't just literally anybody on the web searching bootcamp. But let's continue forward after you've got your positive keywords rounded out. Add negative keywords. This is what you want to disassociate from. This is what you want to make sure you put a boundary up against. So a very common one, especially in fitness, is if my gym is 18 and under, I might want to exclude any children or like kids or under 18 or anything like that. So just to make sure that I don't get any any new leads that from people who are under 18 or looking for services for people under 18. So there we go. Once we have our keywords dialed in, we click next. We get to step 2. This is budget and audience. Here's where we just dial in how many dollars we want to spend every day and for how long. So,
and if I could just jump in here,
yep.
I saw Kevin Barber. Kevin says, I'm running and have run ads in the past. Seb Shuby, I have existing ads. John Ford, I've run Google ads in the past. Janet Hajar, I'm running Google ads now. Alonzo Chamber, 20 accounts being run right now. Shweta. So here's what I want y'all to chime in on. As we look at this budget and audience, could you share with the rest of our audience here, what are some of the ad budgets you run in the past? Would you be comfortable sharing some ideas around, how you maybe started out in the beginning with some of your ad budget? And I think it's important that we all know that you have to, right, put money in to get results out. So, obviously you put $1 a day, your ad may never even show up. And Haplin, I know that we have some help guides to support, keyword costs and kind of resources that Google provides around, cost per click and all those different elements. But for those of you that are looking to get started with a budget, what is a budget you feel comfortable with for testing purposes? Are you planning on putting $250 in for the month to test out on some campaigns for you? Are you planning to put $500 to test out some campaigns for you? Or are you planning to put $1,000 or more? What amount do you feel comfortable with to test this out? Because if you're not testing it out, it's a little hard to do it with others, right? And maybe you want to bring on some clients and maybe they're a beta So you don't charge them the management fee, but they're paying for the ad spend. So those are just some things as Haplin goes over this page. This will not work. This is like an electronic that requires batteries. The cash is the batteries. This will not work without batteries. All right.
Yeah, truly. And I hope I'm not butchering your name, Shweta or Shweta. Thanks so much. 3K per month per client. That's a fantastic amount. You'd want to make sure that you do the math down for daily, just because in this ad manager it is set up for daily. So that'd be, roughly, what is that? A 100, is that $100 a day? It's 3K over 30 days. So something like that. Set up your time frame, super straightforward. You definitely do not have to be running that high of a budget. I presume Shweta has some chops and some experience in this area. I ran a test campaign for the case study that was just 500 over the course of a month. It was about $10 a day over 25 days with 2 different campaigns. So roughly $500. It won't be exactly the right amount. It's just the guideline that Google's going to follow to try to spend most efficiently for you. Once you set budget, then we get into audience controls. This is where you just dial in the location. So this is why it's not that everybody searching for the word boot camp online all over the world is going to hit your search result. It's only going to be in a certain area. So for local brick and mortar spaces, super, super important. And even for digital, you want to make sure that you're dialing in the country, etc. So in this case, I highly recommend going by zip code. So I'll do a zip code in San Diego near me, and then I will take away the United States. And now we can see that as of right now, I'm only going to be targeting people in this San Diego zip code. And you can add as many as you like. You can also do radius as well if you desire. But mine, I ran based on zip code. So that's what you want to do for local for sure. And then beyond that, we search for language. Right now, we're right on the cusp of having age demographics as well. I know that's a big thing that people want to be able to control, and that makes a lot of sense. So when you're dialing in your audience, very, very soon we'll have age demographic controls here as well. But for now, I'll just dial in the language, make sure I am got that settled. And then I hit next, and now we're just reviewing and publishing. So I said it was 3 steps, and the last one is review and publish. So really, it's like 2 steps here. And I tried to take things slow and try to make sure I explain each step of the way. But this is as easy as it is. You just review your stuff, make sure you have it published on the right day, when's it going to get started, etc. It's going to start today, and it's going to end in a month. Hit publish when we're ready, and you can publish ad now. So that is truly what it's like to run ads inside of High Level. You can run a Google ad inside of High Level. That's basically what I did with a little bit more thought and intention for my case study. That's what we see a lot of people doing. And that's pretty much that. And so moving forward, there's a lot of things that we're going to get into that are going to get a little bit more complicated. But for now, that's kind of the story. And the question I have for you is, how easy was that? It was crazy easy. Is it really that easy to run Google ads? The answer is yes, but only when you're running them through High Level. Again, because when you run them through Google, and if for people who've tried to set up ads in Google, you may have watched hours of YouTube videos, you may have hired a coach or a program, bought into a program that's taking you through all these complicated settings, but High Level has intentionally done away with that. And I want to speak to why. Why is it that this platform is so simple? It's this thing we call the 80/20 principle. And I'm curious to hear from people in the comments if you are familiar with the 80/20 principle. Put 80/20 in the chat if you have heard of this before, if you've ever heard of the 80/20 principle, if you know what I'm about to say. And while I wait for people to see, I'm just going to give a quick little explainer. The 80/20 principle is this well-researched phenomenon. There are books on it, very popular, that says 80% of outcomes result from 20% of all causes. That means 80% of the results that you get from your marketing typically come from 20% of your efforts. And when you start putting more than 20% in, you continue to get better results, but it's diminished returns. 100% of the effort gets you 100% of the result. We all knew that. But out of that result, 80% of that result, 4/5 of it came from just 1/5 of the effort. And that is what Google Ads follows, the 80/20 principle. A lot of Google Ads is made for bigger budget and enterprise. Google Ads services all different types of businesses. There are folks with massive budgets that are doing insanely complicated targeting things. They need a lot. If you're there, if you're like spending an insane amount on ads for a massive corporation or something, then you probably do need those settings. I recommend you don't use high-level ad manager. You need to go into Google, you need to hire a consultant, you need to be an expert, you need to know all the thousands of different settings and tracking, et cetera, because that's what's justified at that level. And but when you're not at that level, when you're spending 500 bucks a month on ads, 1,000, even 3,000 a month on ads, you don't need all those different features. They end up just kind of getting in the way, and we see people get so stuck. And this is what I was telling you about. Even when we hired a consultant to run ads for a local business I was working with, we paid them, we had a decent budget, et cetera. It's just small business, they skipped over most of those settings. I was on Zoom and I watched her just skip over these settings and focus mainly on the headline, the description, and the keywords, just the basic stuff, the fundamentals of running the ad were the main thing that mattered. And when I was asking her for silver bullets and all this stuff, it turns out they don't really exist anyways. So rather than spend hours of scrolling, watching, investing in other programs, trying to convince yourself that you need to be the ads guru in order to, and overcome your imposter syndrome or whatever, I recommend letting go of that. Just focus on your client, your content, your offer, and your nurture. There aren't really silver bullets to this, except just understanding the business. When you do a good job of just basic critical thinking about what your client is offering, what their ideal avatar is, and then making an ad that connects to that ideal avatar that's searching on Google. And then the other pieces that we're going to talk about, making sure you have a good offer, that you're nurturing them, that you're tracking and reporting, that's where you're going to really gain the unfair advantage. So when it just comes to publishing the ad, turning the ad on, there's not really an unfair advantage to be found. I'm not here to tell you that if you go through the steps that I just took you through, your ad's magically going to do better in high level than it would have on Google Ads. That's not the case. It's going to be about the same. I tested this and actually share it in my Google case study, Google Ads case study series in the playbook. You can check it out for yourself. The results are pretty much the same. The benefit is that it's much easier to do. You can have your clients do this for themselves if they want, so you don't have to be in the middleman between them and Google Ads success. And the massive, massive, crazy benefits that are going to come tomorrow and day three when we talk about nurturing and reporting and tracking.
Yep. So
So,
Happen, there is a question around because I know we're about to go into
yeah.
some of the positioning on this. Tom Rhodes had a question. What about the conversion tracking setup? I couldn't find a place to add a phone number, a landing page URL, and then how does this work with the conversion stats? Could you highlight that at some point here before we wherever you feel
Uh,
appropriate?
Well, I'll just address it right now. We will talk about reporting and conversion tracking on day three. So we're going to get super deep into that. Tomorrow is going to be lead gen and nurture, how to make sure that the website that you're running ads to is properly set up to get even more benefits out of high level, the stuff that I was just talking about. The real unfair advantages come when they actually click on the website. So Google Ads come up and that's about apples to apples. It's way easier to do and it's just way more streamlined and you don't really need the barrier to entry is way lower. So that's why I recommend using Ad Manager for that, and it makes a lot of the other pieces easier. Once the ad is clicked, that's where the delineation between just Google Ads on their own and high-level Ad Manager is going to skyrocket. So starting tomorrow, we will be dealing with lead generation and nurturing and organizing contacts and CRM stuff and workflows and all that. And then day three, we're going to get into tracking and reporting. So I hope to be able to go deeper on that then.
Mhm.
For now, yeah,
One more question here. When it
yeah,
comes
please.
to at what point is did the Google? So could you walk us through what's required? And maybe this is on another day. We'll go whatever the day that is. Let us know. What is going to be required from a Google Ads setup? Like, do I need to have my Google Ads account um, ad ID? How do I connect the two? And at
Yeah.
what point does that, if I make a change in the Google Ads ID, does that go over into high level, or is that an isolated change that takes place from there on out on the Google ID?
Yeah, so second question first. I'm not exactly sure about once they're integrated, everything that gets shared back and forth, and that's changing every day too. So I know that I soon I've been told that we will have like two-way sync. So if once you integrate Ads Manager, it will pull ads in from Google. Right now, that's not the case. There's only a one-way sync from Ad Manager back to Google. So the first time you integrate Google inside of High Level, or the Ad Manager, I should say, it will be blank inside of High Level, but anything you create in High Level will show up in Google, and that's not vice versa. So then when it comes to changing IDs and stuff, I know in order to get access, it's just a wizard that's as simple as, when I say wizard, I mean you click the button. I'm on this page right now. You click
Hmm.
that, and then it's just, in this case, it's showing you Facebook, but it will be the same as logging into your Gmail account, right? It'll just add
Okay.
little pop up. It'll have you username, password, and then once you log into that Google account, just like you would at google.com, it will show all the ads accounts that you have access to, that you have admin access to, and you can just hook up the one that is appropriate. So as long as you have an ads account that exists that you have access to for the business that you're working with or your own business or whatever, it's as simple as logging into your Gmail. Does that
Yep.
make sense?
It does. I appreciate you sharing. We have a lot of more technical guests on. Alonzo here has another question. Does this allow exact match keywords?
Not at this point. So we're close to adding that as well. Guys, this ad manager is following what is in high level culture is very commonly called the skateboard model. We release things as fast as we can and then develop them continually. So this ad manager is going to get slightly more complicated, only in good ways that serve you. People who are asking questions about age demographics and search type keyword types, match types, etc. Really good questions. Those were ones we were anticipating because our team already has that feedback from folks who have beta tested this, that obviously there are some developments that need to happen in order for people to get the most optimized ads on the ad manager side, even, taking for granted the whole dichotomy between we don't need the whole complicated ads platform, but we could use a little bit more. We released this Google Ads section of the ad manager very, very recently. Do you know how long it's been out, JB? It's like maybe 2, 3 months even.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna actually, I was gonna ask you, but I'll
I should
divert. I'll
know.
divert that to. But we'll be back on that question. But let me
Yeah.
grab this question here from William, if you're cool with it. Um, does the ad budget get billed through high level associated credit card, through Stripe, through Lead Connector, or is it going through Google directly? Am I being charged an additional fee? So could you share a little
Great
bit about the
question.
billing process, and then if there's an issue with the bill, are they calling high level support, or are they calling Google Ads support?
Great question. On that previous one, I'll just say all the good questions people are asking about the little pieces that are still missing. Definitely on the team's radar, definitely coming right around the corner. We are known for releasing features as early as possible just to make sure people get access to them. We'd rather have you be able to see and get your hands dirty with the ad manager as it is now, and then make sure we get those exact match terms and other keyword matches options, and different budget parameters, and a couple of other things, age, uh, demographics, etc. We'll add those in just as fast as we can, but we'd rather release the feature earlier is basically the bottom line. And that follows a lot of high level culture. We're always trying to push things out, and then take feedback from you and continue to develop them. So this ad manager is only going to continue to get better and better and better with regards to the little optimizations that I know people who really know their ad stuff are going to say that they really need in order to run the highest performing ads. Um, but
So
even
the
still,
question with
even
the billing though,
yeah.
just because
Oh, for
it's
sure.
coming up here. For example, I put my credit card in. Is it safe to assume, or is it for a fact that Google's going to be billing me according to their terms and conditions, not high level?
Yeah, so when it comes to ad spend, that's fully on the Google side. So you will need to set up billing inside of Google. Hopefully one day there'll be a way to do that in high level as well. But even if it is pulled into high level, that will just be an integration. The billing relationship for ad spend is 100% with Google.
Okay. And then if I were to resell this to my sub accounts, that'll get charged through the high level lead connector wallet. And then
Mhm.
I would pay the fee of, my cost, and then I would get the upsell as well. And all that, the reselling components through high level. The actual ad budget for you as the agency and your customers is through Google. If there's a concern or an issue with ad charges, fees, you call Google's ad support. I'm assuming we have a help doc that will get to the team to get to everybody that has that information, correct?
Yes, that's all
Perfect.
exactly right. So when it comes to reselling, turning the ad manager on as a feature inside of high level, that's all managed through high level and through the lead connector wallet, as JB said. When it comes to the actual ad spend, that is where you're integrating your Google account, and that's all managed by Google.
Awesome. I think that was a majority of the questions. If y'all have more questions, please jot them down. I tried skimming through as much possible here regarding billing, technical, all that good stuff. So I'm going to make my way to YouTube here as you continue on, Haplin.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some questions there that are a bit different, and I'll jump back here in a moment.
Yes. So, and we're actually close to the end, at which point we're going to take questions anyway, so it's perfect timing. But just to kind of wrap this up, you want to run Google Ads through the high-level ad manager and or give your client direct access to be able to do that. Make sure they're set up with it. Take a little margin for yourself because it's going to get them 80% of the way there and it's going to be 20% of the effort. So the barrier to entry is removed. It's even more probably like 95-20. And you can reference the Google Ads case study inside of the playbook if you're curious for a more detailed take on that. But basically what I'm trying to say here is that even if you're not running Google Ads through high level, this is just free advice. Don't spend hours of scrolling and watching and thinking that you need to understand all of the Google Ads platform in order to run a Google ad. That is not the case. A lot of the Google Ads platform is made for very complicated special use. Think of the businesses Google serve. They have to serve the entire world, basically. You are not the entire world. You don't need the entire platform. You just need the pieces that you need. So don't buy expensive programs. Don't listen to expensive gurus. Don't buy into silver bullet, wishy-washy promises, etc. I recommend instead focusing on just the fundamentals. Make sure you have a really good understanding of your client, who they're trying to serve, and just pick some headlines and some keywords that are just going to connect them with that person and then let that be. That should take you like a day or less. Even if you're running it on the Google Ads side, just focus on the fundamentals and get that part out of the way. And then really focus a lot more of your time on offer, nurturing, tracking, and reporting, because that's where you're going to get an unfair advantage with high level. And that's where you're going to really differentiate yourself compared to other Google Ads agencies or other service providers. Google Ads is just your foot in the door. At the end of the day, Google Ads will struggle, even from experts. I have seen campaigns fail from people who promised me they would not fail. And you can't really guarantee success or ROAS, but with high level, Google Ads becomes just like another tool. We could be running Google Ads, we could be running Meta Ads, we could be running other paid, or we could be focusing on organic. We could be doing database reactivations. We could be doing all sorts of marketing. We have all these different lead sources and Google is just one of them. So we don't have all our eggs in one basket. And rather than guaranteeing that your Google ads are going to just, get 1,000% ROAS, we're just going to guarantee swift execution, an airtight pipeline, precise reporting, and strategic improvement because we're going to actually understand the marketing pipeline of the business, which we'll talk more about tomorrow. Again, we're not going to put all our eggs in one basket. Rather, we're going to add this to our tool belt as we talk to our clients about the rest of the sales and marketing pipeline. And so, that's basically the main point of this is to just give you a quick and easy way to execute on Google Ads. Don't get caught up in the analysis paralysis or the imposter syndrome associated with the massive Google platform. We solved that problem today. So don't let that stand in your way forevermore. You have the ability to turn Google Ads on and just start getting your hands dirty with it and then differentiate yourself along the lines of this area right here. Swift execution, airtight pipeline, precise reporting, and strategic improvement. That's the thing that other undisciplined agencies skip out on. And that's the thing that we are going to make sure that you do not miss as a part of this workshop. So that is the main content for today. That's the main thing I wanted to show you, just that it really is that easy to turn Google Ads on when you have this mindset. And we're going to spend a lot more time focusing more and more of our energy on optimizing the lower hanging fruit, the parts that have a much bigger return on that energy tomorrow and the next day. But for today, the main homework that I want to give to you guys before we see you tomorrow is to check out the playbook. Make sure Ads Manager is on in the ads settings, in your agency settings. Make sure that it's on and that it's applied to a sub account or two. Remember, if you've never used the Ad Manager before, it's free for 14 days. Make a test ad. Just go through the buttons that I did. You don't have to launch it. You don't have to publish it. Set the publish date for the future so that it's not turned on and you can delete it before then. But just go through the motions. Click through the title, the headings, the descriptions, choose some keywords or let AI choose some keywords for you, etc. And just get a sense of confidence in how you go about turning a Google ad on. And then, of course, come back tomorrow to learn how to turn those clicks into actual conversions, leads, and conversations. That is basically what I got. So we can move on to more questions, and or JB, you can wrap us at any point, but I'll leave this here because these are the resources that are going to help you succeed even more. The link to the playbook, as well as the link to your kickoff call.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So this, take a screenshot of this, y'all, because this is going to be, if you're brand new with us, you know, and you just set up a trial, this could be a little overwhelming, or maybe you just switched over from a more complicated platform and this is exactly what you've been needing, right? So these are great resources here. For those of you that are consider yourself experts in ads management, this is solely what you do. You may be thinking in your mind, because I've seen some of the comments, like there's no way that I could personally use this. And I think, you know, some way, shape, or form here, Haplin has agreed with you in some way a little bit. I have in my way a little bit. And my personal opinion is that this is for somebody that wants to add this as an offering in their white label, gray label, or just affiliate high level account. So their customers have access to push the buttons, pull the levers, and do it themselves, right? Some people just need to be aware of it and just to get practice with it. So that's the purpose. It serves definitely for that. For customers that want to be aware and they're not willing to pay a management fee or pay a premium for your time, this is an alternative where you can add your expertise on top of it and give them a done with you approach at a discounted rate of your time, or you have someone on your team that can handle it, manage it with them because of that offer. For a more done for you, you might end up going into the Google Ads console itself, you adding a bunch of different bells and whistles and tracking mechanisms, like what we do at high level, like for our ads, right? For our big campaigns and what we've seen others do. I just want to share that difference here. I don't want you to think that we're saying, hey, X out of what you're doing now, this is the one and only way. Absolutely not. This is just an added offer to give to your customers to experience what they may not be aware of. When it comes to strategy, right? There are plenty of resources out there. It's all in the packaging. So how you package this, whether it's in the do-it-yourself model, done with you model, or done for you model, you'll need to package it appropriately. But the function is in high level. And as Haplin has shared in depth, there are many features that are being added, and a lot of your questions we've answered thus far. There is more to come. And we have 2 days left, so this isn't the end all be all. We're just covering the introduction end of things. I'm on YouTube here, and I see here Jerry Napolitano asking about like a done with me service again. Definitely, you know, checking out one of our challenges or on our blogs. We have some content around how to package this. Rob had asked Haplin split testing. Is there any functionality on split testing at the moment?
We don't quite yet. You would just have to have, you can clone ads super easily. So you would
Okay.
just need to make a clone. That's the way I would do that. I mean, that's essentially split testing. So you can do it that way. probably soon we'll have more like a formal split testing interface that will make it even easier. I do just want to speak to that earlier point too. If you're already at the point where you understand the Google Ads platform, you've had success on Google Ads, you are that consultant, that guru, you've taken the steps to get to that point, more power to you. I highly recommend you continue to do that. You can still feed leads into high level and get all of the massive, amazing benefits of down funnel reporting, nurturing, plugging all the leaks in the bucket, stuff that we are going to talk about tomorrow and Wednesday. So you're still in the right place. You're absolutely where you want to be for tomorrow and Wednesday to get the most out of high level, but it's okay if you don't use the ad manager. There's kind of typically, there's different types of agencies out there in the world, folks working with more enterprise clients or bigger budgets, et cetera, folks who have a lot of experience, been doing this for a decade already, et cetera. You're on your path and you know Google Ads better than I do. I'll be the first person to admit it because I'm not a Google Ads expert. I'm somebody who had never run a Google ad 3 months ago. So the message about running ads through the high level manager and getting your clients on the ad manager so they can run ads themselves, that's basically just about removing the barrier to entry for beginners, getting 80% of the way to a perfect ad with like 5% of the effort that it takes to actually learn Google Ads. So if you're watching this and you're in a place where you haven't run Google Ads before, maybe you have some other service and you're thinking about maybe I'd like to add Google Ads to my tool belt. Maybe I do websites and I've done Meta before. Maybe I've run Instagram. Maybe I do done for you social media management, maybe whatever, and you want to add Google Ads. Or maybe you're a brand new digital entrepreneur and you're just trying to gain skills. The advice for you in the beginner seat here is remove the barrier to entry. I recommend not doing all that investment. Don't go buy a big program. Don't go spend hours and hours and hours watching videos and hiring coaches, etc., as is kind of described on this slide. Just focus on your client, on the fundamentals of their marketing, and treat Google Ads as one of the tools in your toolbox, because now you can run effective Google Ads, maybe not 100%, but 85, 90% of the same product you can get from inside the ad manager. So that is the different message for the two different types of people watching this video. If you're already an ads expert and you love Google Ads platform, then you're already where you need to be. And we'll see you tomorrow for the nurturing and for the reporting, which is really going to change the way that you see Google Ads and hopefully the results that you see from them as well.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
that
makes
answered the
sense.
question of it does. Arush, I think that answered your question. We do have reporting. We do have all that good stuff there. So you'll definitely be able to go in depth on that. For my chiropractor friend here that tried to run an ad and it didn't work out as well, if you can send me a message on Facebook, I can get you the help to find out why the ad didn't publish. We can see maybe your ad account is not, there's something missing, right? So I don't know without looking at it, but more than happy to get you the help we need to get you. Here's my biggest ask of you. Jot down your questions below. Look at it from your personal fulfilling, providing the service and fulfilling, and then put it as the positioning of a customer. What do you believe your customer is going to ask you? And if you haven't yet, make sure you jump in and create your Google Ads account. So that way, when we go through this tomorrow again, if you have any troubleshooting um, hiccups, we can get you at least the best guidance to get you up and running. Haplin, is there anything I might be missing before we wrap this up?
No, I want to say thank you guys for the time and attention today and for letting somebody who's never run an ad in your life show you how to run an ad in his life, show you how to turn on Google Ads in this particular unique way that just allows you to get going faster. We're all about momentum here. You can learn based on experience. I learned a lot in the past just month running my own case study. So I highly recommend and encourage everyone watching this video. If you've been that person who's like, I'm not ready. I don't think I know enough. I logged into Google Ads once and it just overwhelmed me. The interface is so huge. So I know High Level is not trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's a lot of good stuff in Google as well, but this is the opportunity to make things easier for you and to give you a way forward to actually build momentum firing Google Ads and seeing some results with them. So tomorrow we are going to move on from the actual ad itself and talk about what I think is 95% of the whole project. I think the actual Google ad is like a sliver of the importance here, and everything that happens after the Google ad is the really, really, really important part where you're going to be able to make a huge impact on your client's business. And I've seen businesses transformed by the content that we're going to cover tomorrow and Wednesday. And the best part of that is that it applies not just to Google Ads, but actually to other lead sources as well. So there's my big pitch for tomorrow. I don't mean to oversell anything, but yeah, I'm just excited. So thank you guys for being here today. And I'm going to look forward to showing you guys some neat tricks tomorrow.
Haplin, people are asking why should they show back up tomorrow? I'm just kidding. I'm just
Did
kidding.
I not?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just
I don't
kidding. I'm
know.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey, look, y'all. We have the link below. This got like super technical and super serious real quick. I usually like to have a little bit more fun on a Monday, but as you know, it is right. Get down to business, and it's just fun to be here with y'all. So click the link to get the reminders. Ask your questions away. I'm going to keep an eye on this for the rest of the day. I'm going to compile all those questions. I'm going to throw them over at Haplin, whatever side you're on. You're over here, over there, to make sure that we can get the help from our product team. And tomorrow, mañana, here, 12 p.m. Eastern. Make sure your time is set up, your alarm. We'll be live, YouTube, Facebook, everything in between. If you know what I mean, I'll see you here. And thank you for being our high-level customer. Take care.